What is Gruut beer, and why isn't it brewed in more breweries around the world? This was the question I asked myself, and lucky for me, I found one such brewery making these special beers. Gruit is one of the rare beers brewed with a mixture of herbs used rather than the more usual hops. Hops has been the dominant flavoring agent in beer, countering the sweetness of malted grains with bitterness, while also helping prevent spoilage in beer. But prior to the widespread adoption of hops, bitter herbs were more frequently used to produce Gruit beer. Replacing hops is no easy task, but Annick of Gruit Brewery in Ghent, Belgium, found a way where brewing's past meets the present in a time where more people seek out unique experiences with their beer. I'm Jeff. I just retired from the military, sold everything I own, and now I'm traveling around the world to learn from brewers, winemakers, distillers, and tell their story. This is my journey of beer, wine, and spirits.
The most difficult part, of course, was to eliminate the hop. And there I did the research for 2 years and a half. That wasn't easy to do because I went to my professor and I told him I've seen in the books in the Middle Ages that people were brewing without hops and with herbs. And he said, yeah, I know, somewhere in the past there has been brewing with herbs, but without hops it's not possible, Annick, he said. And I said, well, in the books it says it's without hops. So people used to do it, so why not anymore? And I said, well, I want to keep on looking for a recipe and why and how can you brew without hop. And then he said, well, Annick, I know you're very stubborn. And he said, well, okay, use my lab, do whatever you want to do. I don't think you're going to achieve something, but I know I can't withhold you. So I did research in his lab alone for a year. I made some brews without hops, I added herbs, I did some research on taste, drinkability, on foam stability, everything. So, and then at the end I went home with a mouth full with herbs. And I couldn't swallow anymore in the night because there were too many herb tastes. And I woke up in the morning and I said, well, I didn't sleep the whole night, I'm going to quit. This is going to end the story. So I went with my bicycle to the hop professor again. And I said, yeah, you were right. I made a terrible beer. It's not a beer. It's terrible. I'm going to stop. And he said, well, Annick, it's amazing what you're saying now because I've been looking behind your back all the time and it's very interesting what you're doing. And actually, I want you to continue. He said, I'm going to put all my staff on this project. It will take money. We can ask to the government and to innovate financial needs. And so we went to Brussels and we gave in a project and then we could do some more research for another year and a half with 4 people was from the university. That's how we came after 2 years and a half then to a recipe without hops. And he was very curious about it because of course in export the beer has to take a long time before consummation. By doing this, the beer can hold longer. That was his point of interest. And my point of interest was only to be different, to go to the story back of the Middle Ages, how they were brewing, how Ghent was brewing, and how they could make beer without hops. is not a herb beer.
Okay.
For me, Gruut beer is a beer that's a soft beer, very drinkable. So you don't have this sharpness of this hop bitterness. The bitterness you have, but it comes from a herb. There's one herb who is a basic herb that I can't tell you what it is.
Gotcha.
But that gives the bitterness of the beer and the drinkability of the beer, which is the most important thing though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like it. See, I tried to get the secret out. Just keep it away. So never gonna find out.
Now, next year we're 10 years old. Now I've been busy with it for 10 years and I say, well, it's fine like it is. I achieved what I wanted to have.
Yeah.
Do I want to grow? I'm a person who always wants to achieve more. So I have to withhold myself a little bit in making too many goals because it's in my body. I feel that, but on the other side I say, well, maybe it's better to travel a little bit and see how the business can grow there without growing here. So we'll see.